Unit 4, Articles and Schedules. Question 39. Which one of the following articles of the Indian Constitution gives us the right to equality? It's B. Right to equality is given in Article 14 to 14th in Part 3 of Constitution from 14 to 18th. Fundamental rights is borrowed. Fundamental rights is taken from the US Constitution. The right to equality means that any person, irrespective of any religion, caste, sex, place of birth, all have equal rights. In addition to this, the evils such as untouchability have also been eliminated by the Indian Parliament Act 1955. If a person supports untouchability, he will be fined, and there will also be a provision for rigorous imprisonment. Article 368 is gives is taken from South African Constitution. It's about amendment in the Constitution. Article 23 and 24 is related, related to fundamental rights of right against exploitation. Article 32 is called the soul of the Constitution. Rates are given in it. 40. Which part of the Constitution provides for the process of impeachment of the President? President impeachment is given in Article 61. This feature had been taken from the Constitution of America. President may be impeached by a House of Parliament for violation of the provisions of the Constitution, but it is necessary that the President be given written notice 14 days in advance, signed by one-fourth members of that House. Important is President should be noticed 14 days before the impeachment process. Impeachment process taken from American Constitution, and it's given in our Constitution in Article 61. Under which article of the Indian Constitution the President can take over the government of a state in case of a failure of the constitutional machinery of that state? So state articles, uh, it's related to emergency system, that is discussed from article 352 to 360. So 352 is about national emergency, 356 about an state emergency, and 360 is about financial emergency. Financial emergency had not been applied to uh, in our country till now. The president can implement these three types of emergency in consultation with the Council of Ministers. Which community gets special provision for certain services in Article 336? So 336, it's about Anglo-Indian community. Um, Article 336 provides special provisions for the Anglo-Indian community for certain services. During the first 2 years after the commencement of this constitution, the members of the Anglo-Indian community will be appointed to the posts in the Union's railways, customs, postal and telegraph services on the same basis on which they were made just before August 1947. The provisions for Anglo-Indian community had been now repealed. like their nomination from Rajya Sabha, protection of life and personal liberty had been included in the article of Constitution of India. Protection of life and personal liberty is given in Article 21. 19 is about the freedom of speech and expression. There are many types of freedom given, like speech and expression, freedom to stay in any part of the country, to do any business, freedom to form any type of groups. Article 22, protection against arrest and preventive detention law in certain cases. Article 20, protection in relation to conviction for crime. So all these four articles are given in chapter 2 of fundamental rights. Right to freedom. 44th, which one of the following is described in the article 78 of the constitution? Power of the president to send ad- advisory messages to the parliament. Option D, relation of duty to make the prime minister aware. Under Article 78, it will be the duty of the Prime Minister to notify the President of all the decisions of the Council of Ministers on the administration and legislative proposals and give the information that the President asks for. Article 36 to 51 are listed under which of the following headings of the Indian Constitution? These articles are listed under Directive Principles of State Policy in Part 4 of the Constitution, and this part has been taken from the Irish Constitution. Along with this DPSP, nomination of Rajya Sabha members also taken from Irish Constitution. Municipalities is given in Part 9th, cooperative societies in Part B. It was added in February 2012. Municipalities in Amendment Act 74th on June 1993, and fundamental duties we already discussed. It's in Part 3. Article 40 is organization of village panchayats. Article 48, organization of agriculture and animal husbandry. 48A, protect environmental protection. 49th, protection of national monuments. In 9th, protect national monuments. For 50, separation of judiciary from executive. This article's features had been taken from the American Constitution. Article 51, promotion of international peace and security. 46th, which of the following article is related to the election of the vice president? Article 66 of the Indian Constitution deals with the election of the vice president, in which the manner and qualifications are discussed. The vice president shall be elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of the members of both houses of parliament in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote, and the voting at such shall be by secret ballot. On the other hand, Article 62 is related to the vacancy in the post of president. Article 64 is related to the vice president and Rajya Sabha. Article 68 is related to the vacancy in the post of vice president. 47th, to who is Article 17 of the Indian Constitution related? So we know it's the abolition of untouchability. In 18th, abolition of titles. Equality before law is given in Article 14th. Right to education is given in Article 21A. Article 15 is prohibition of discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Equality of opportunity in matters of public employment is given in Article 16. Untouchability, that is chuachut, and end of title means no person can use a title's name before his name. Like someone has been awarded Padma Shri or Bharat Ratan. Now a person can use like Bharat Ratan awardee, Mahatma Gandhi, or any such other names like this. Which of the following articles is related to the prevention of human trafficking and forced labors? So we know exploitation against right against exploitation given in articles 23 and 24. Only 23 is given in it. So 24 is related to the child labor. The official language of the Indian Union are mentioned in which schedules of the Constitution of India? So it's mentioned in the 8th schedule. 22 languages are included in this schedule. In starting, 14th of these languages were included in the original constitution. In 1967, Sindhi language was added to this schedule. Sindhi language was added to this schedule in 1967. After this, Sindhi was added by 21st Amendment Act. After this, Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali Kon Manipale language were added in 1992. Then Bodo, Dongri, Mathili and Santali, that's Bod Mas in short. These four languages added in the year 2003. So Sindhi in 67 via 21st Amendment Act, Kon Manipale, Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali in 1992, Bodmas in 2003. A provisions related to the official languages of the Constitution of Union has been made under Article 343. 343(1) of the Constitution provides that Hindi in Devanagari script shall be the official language of the Union. The 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution is about 10th is about anti-defection law. Like the leaders of the party cannot change their parties. Dal Badal Kanun. The 10th schedule, anti-defection, was added to the Indian Constitution via the 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985. Under this, provisions has been made for disqualifications of MPs and MLAs from one party to another. But as per this article, we had not seen Mr. Ayaram and Gayaram, who changed his party 9 times in a single day in 3 times. He is known for Bihar's CM. Under which article of the Indian Constitution is the right to hoist the national flag? National flag, that's shows our expression of freedom. So freedom of right to freedom given in Article 19. It's V. Article 19(1) of the Indian Constitution guarantees six rights to all citizens, which are right to freedom of speech and expression, B. right to assemble peacefully and without arms. So this Article 19B gets terminated when there is Section 144 applies. Article C, right to form right to form an association, that is making an any type of groups or a party. D, right to seamless transmission everywhere in the territory of India. It's our right, we can travel to any state or any part of India. E, it's about to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. F, right to carry on any profession, trade or business. In Article 19(1), freedom of speech expression, the right to hoist the national flag is inherent. 52. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution mentions that the Chief Minister will be appointed by the Governor? 130 and 122 is 130 is related to Supreme Court, and Article 122 is about executives. So these cannot be the answers. Article 164 is about it states Council of Ministers is provided in the Article 163 of the Constitution. In 64, the Governor appoints by the Chief Minister, and the other ministers will be appointed by the Governor on the advice of Chief Minister. So it's written here in opposite. It should be Chief Minister is appointed by the Governor, and other ministers will be appointed by the Governor on advice of CM. So Articles 160 130 is about seat of Supreme Court, and 122 is about courts not to inquire into the proceedings of Parliament. That is, it means courts cannot inquire about the proceedings of Parliament. They can only inquire about the rules and laws made by Parliament. Which of the following articles in the Constitution of India explains the right to education? It's 21A. Article 5 about citizenship. Article 12 definition of states. 23 is right against exploitation in human beings. 21A of the Constitution of India explains the right to Education. The state will provide free and compulsory education to all children between ages of 16 to 14 years as determined by the state law. Article 221A of the Indian Constitution deals with which of the following? Its right to education, protection of life and personal liberty in 21, freedom to manage religious affairs in article, I think it's given in article 26, and protection of interests of minorities in 29. 55. Which of the following states does not follow the sixth schedule of the Constitution, which deals with the administration and controls of the tribal areas? It's Nagaland. For Nagaland, special articles are made. The sixth schedule provides for administration in the tribal areas of the Assam, Meghalaya, and Tripura and Mizoram. The sixth schedule provides for autonomy in the administration of areas through autonomous district councils. These councils are empowered to make laws in respect of areas under their jurisdiction which cover the land, forests, cultivation, inheritance, indigenous customs and traditions of tribals, etc. The administration and control of Nagaland does not come under the sixth schedule. So these are शाम को मेघ पूरा बरसेगा, असम, मेघालय, त्रिपुरा एंड मिजोरम. राम शाम को मेघ की तरह पूरा बरसेगा. The Constitution of India demarcates the size of the Lok Sabha under which elected members and members represented the Anglo Indian community who are nominated by the President of India. So its elected members cannot be more than 550 and nominated members will be 2 Anglo Indians. It's given about the 331. Recently, Indian government had terminated the nomination of Anglo-Indian community. According to the Constitution, under which article is the protection of life and personal liberty is granted? It's in 21. 20 against is about the detention rights against detention of arrest. 22 about 23 about human trafficking. So right to equality, article 14 to 18, right to freedom, article 19 to 22, articles 23 to 24, right against exploitation, right to religious freedom in articles 25 to 28, right to culture and education, article 29 and 30, right to constitutional remedies, article 32. Article 29 of the Indian Constitution provides which of the following rights? So it says protection of interests of minorities, #59 Which article of our constitution says that the speaker will have the final casting vote in the event of equality of votes in the house? That means if on any amendment or any decision there is equality, on that case speaker will have the final casting, final vote result. It's mentioned in the article 100. The chairman or speaker or person acting as such shall not vote in the first instance, but shall have and exercise a casting vote in the case of an equality of votes. So in article, when there is a case of 50-50, chairman can use under article 100 will use his power of vote to cast. Article 101 of the Indian Constitution deals with vacancy in Parliament. Article 99 provides that before taking oath, every member of the each House of Parliament shall take oath or pledge before the President or a person appoints him. 97 is about the salary and allowances of the chairman and deputy chairman of the Parliament. The financial annual statement prepared under Article 112 of the Constitution of India called the budget. Formally, budget is nowhere mentioned in our Constitution, but we call annual financial statement as budget. On 7th April 1860, the first budget of the country was presented by James Wilson, finance minister of the British government. After independence, the first budget of the country was presented by Finance Minister R.K. Shanmugam Shetty on 26 November 1947, the day when we uh, got independence, the year in which we got independence. 26 December uh, from 2015 being celebrated as Constitution Day. Which of the following right is mentioned in Article 21A of the Indian Constitution? It's right to education. Right to education mentioned in Article 21A of Constitution. Under this, state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children between the ages of 6 and 14. It was added by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. The name of the states and union territories of India are mentioned in which schedule of the Constitution? It's a first schedule. The provisions of states and union territories of India are mentioned in the first schedule of the Constitution. Currently, 28 states and 8 union territories are mentioned in this schedule.